Do not spend these coins. I'm dead serious. Before you skip, before you scroll, before you drop that change on the counter, check your pocket now. Because right now, at this very moment, people all across America are accidentally spending coins that collectors are quietly paying insane money for. These coins look dirty, old, worthless, and that's exactly why nobody talks about them. This is hidden wealth, silent fortune found. These old coins is a treasure worth serious money. Rare coins equal big money, and today I'm exposing the most valuable ultra-rare US coins hiding in plain sight. Every coin you're about to see gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking. Do not spend these coins. Stay till the end, because what comes next changes everything. Coin number 1. Now listen carefully. Coin number 1 is the kind of coin people laugh at. They toss it in jars. They throw it in parking lots. They lose it between couch cushions. And that mistake has already cost some people a life-changing opportunity. I'm talking about the 1,950 wheat penny with no mint mark, lightly blackened, circulated, original, untouched. This coin is dangerous to ignore because it doesn't scream money. It whispers it. And collectors hear that whisper loud and clear. 1,950 was not a calm year. America was under pressure. Post-war optimism on the surface, but underneath, inflation worries, metal demand, factories pushed to the limit, the economy shifting gears. The US Mint was pumping out coins fast, stressed, focused on quantity, not perfection. That pressure created mistakes, inconsistencies, and coins that were never meant to survive cleanly. Most of these pennies were spent hard, scraped, abused, and destroyed. That's why survival matters. That's why originality matters. And that's why this year matters. This 1,950 wheat penny came out of Philadelphia, and the missing mint mark is everything. No mint mark means the main production hub, the highest pressure, the most rushed environment. These coins were born working. They weren't saved. They weren't collected. They were meant to move. And that's exactly why finding one today with natural surfaces, even circulated, even darkened, is a shock to the system for serious collectors. When you hold this coin, it feels heavier than people expect. Solid, real, old American copper. You can feel its presence. It has thickness, weight, substance. That rich copper core gives it a warmth that modern coins don't have. The size feels familiar, but the personality doesn't. The surface tells a story. That lightly black layer people think is damage, that's time. That's decades of natural aging. That's oxygen, air, history bonding to the metal. That's not dirt. That's character. That's what collectors secretly chase. Look at Lincoln's face. Calm, strong, honest. This design isn't flashy, but it's iconic. On the back, the wheat ears stand like a symbol of growth and wealth, a design that disappeared forever just a few years later. When this series ended, the door slammed shut. No more wheat pennies, no second chances. And every year that passes makes survivors rarer and more valuable. Here's the part that hurts. Most of these coins were melted, damaged, cleaned, or destroyed. Cleaning kills value instantly. The second someone scrubs this coin, polishes it, or tries to make it shiny, the silent fortune dies. Collectors can spot cleaned coins instantly. They don't forgive it. They walk away. Original toning is everything. That antique, darkened look is not a flaw. It's a signature. It's proof the coin lived honestly. This coin is rare not because of hype, but because of survival. Millions were made. Almost none survived correctly. That's the secret. Rarity isn't always about low mintage. It's about who made it out alive. And this 1,950 wheat penny, circulated but original, lightly blackened, no mint mark, is one of the survivors collectors fight over quietly. Collectors don't brag about buying these. They don't flip them fast. They hold them. They lock them away. When one appears at auction, bidding doesn't start loud. It starts calm. Then it turns aggressive, private, intense. Phones out. Numbers climbing. This is not fiction. This is real auction shock. And examples like this have reached a market value of around $156. That's not pocket change. That's quiet wealth. That's life-changing money hiding in plain sight. And here's the scariest part. People are still losing these. Every day. They're in old jars, in inherited boxes, in drawers no one checks. People spend them because they look dirty, ordinary, worthless. Do not spend this coin. If you find one, stop. Never clean it. Protect it. Original surfaces matter more than shine. Professional grading is critical. That plastic holder isn't decoration. It's protection for a fortune. What should you check? The date, the missing mint mark, the surface, the color, the feel, the originality. What mistakes destroy value? Cleaning, scratching, polishing, impatience, selling too fast. Patience is golden in this game. Collectors know it. That's why they win. Stay till the end of this video, because this is just the beginning. This detail already changed everything. And what comes next is even bigger, rarer, and more dangerous to ignore. The next coin makes this one look calm. If you think this wheat penny is shocking, the next hidden treasure will make your heart race. Don't blink, don't leave. The next coin changes everything. Coin number 2. Listen to me very carefully. This is one of those coins that looks so harmless, so ordinary, that it becomes dangerous. Dangerous because people ignore it. Dangerous because people spend it. Dangerous because people clean it, scratch it, and erase a silent fortune without even knowing what they just destroyed. Stay with me, because this is not hype, this is not fiction, and this detail changes everything. Coin number 2 is the 1940 wheat penny with no mint mark, lightly blackened, fine condition, original and untouched. And yes, do not spend this coin. 1940 was not a peaceful moment in history. The world was tightening its grip. War tension was rising. America was preparing, even if it didn't openly admit it yet. Factories were shifting. Materials were under pressure. Copper was becoming more important by the day. And the U.S. Mint was operating under stress. Coins struck during this period were not made to be perfect keepsakes. They were made to move fast, to circulate hard, to serve an economy bracing for impact. That pressure matters because it created coins that were used aggressively and almost never preserved correctly. This 1940 wheat penny came out of Philadelphia, and the missing mint mark is not a small detail. It is the detail. No mint mark means it was born in the busiest mint, under the most intense production conditions. These coins were pushed out by the millions, handled roughly from day one, stacked, scraped, transported, spent. Almost none were saved with intention. That's why when one survives today in fine condition, with original surfaces and a natural dark layer, collectors stop breathing for a second. At first glance, people think it's just an old penny. Brown, dark, maybe even ugly. That lightly black layer scares people away. They think it needs cleaning. They think it's damaged. And that mistake is exactly how hidden wealth disappears. That dark antique look is time itself. It's decades of honest aging. It's the coin telling you it was never messed with, never polished, never stripped of its history. Collectors don't want shiny lies. They want original truth. When you hold this coin, it feels solid, reassuring, real. The copper presence is unmistakable. There's a weight to it that modern coins don't have. A thickness that makes it feel important. It's small, yes, but it carries authority. You can feel that it comes from another era. The size is familiar, but the energy is different. This coin has been places. It has seen things. And somehow, against all odds, it survived. The design is quietly powerful. Lincoln's portrait is steady and confident, a symbol of endurance at a time when the nation was bracing itself. The wheat ears on the reverse are not decoration. They represent growth, stability, and survival. This design would eventually disappear forever, and once it did, collectors never stopped chasing it. That alone turns every genuine survivor into a target. Here's where rarity really starts to hurt. Millions of 1,940 wheat pennies were struck, but almost all of them were destroyed in ways collectors can never forgive. They were cleaned, scrubbed, polished, corroded, bent, melted, lost. A coin like this, circulated but fine, original, lightly blackened, is rare because it escaped all of that. Survival is the rarity. Originality is the jackpot. Collectors obsess over tiny things on this coin. The strength of the date, the clarity of the wheat lines, the evenness of the toning, the absence of harsh cleaning lines, the natural flow of the surface. These are the details that separate a coin worth almost nothing from a coin worth a silent fortune. And this is why cleaned coins are destroyed. The moment originality is gone, collectors are gone. Value collapses instantly. In quiet auction rooms and private sales, coins like this don't sit around. They don't get advertised loudly. Serious collectors recognize them immediately. Bidding starts slow, almost polite, then turns sharp and aggressive. Phones come out. Eyes narrow. This is where collectors fight without raising their voices. Most buyers don't plan to sell. They plan to hold. That's why supply keeps shrinking. Demand keeps rising. And prices keep climbing. This exact type of 1,940 wheat penny, no mint mark, fine condition, original dark toning, has reached a market value of around $165. Zeroth. That's not just money. That's hidden wealth. That's quiet wealth. That's a life-changing opportunity disguised as a dirty old coin. And people are still losing them. Every single day, do not spend this coin. I don't care if it looks worn. I don't care if it looks dark. Never clean it. Never polish it. Never try to make it look better. That destroys everything. Original toning matters. Professional grading is critical. That small step can be the difference between a forgotten penny and a protected fortune. If you ever find one, slow down. Check the date. Check for the missing mint mark. Look at the surface. Feel the coin. Respect it. Patience is golden in this world. The biggest mistakes are rushing, cleaning, and selling too fast. The smartest collectors wait, protect, and let time do the work. Stay with this video, because what comes next is even more shocking. If this 1,940 wheat penny scares you, the next coin is on another level. Rarer, more aggressive, more dangerous to ignore. People are losing that one right now too. And once you see it, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Coin number 3. Stop. Do not move. Do not click away. Because this is where things get truly dangerous. This is where ordinary change turns into a silent fortune. And one careless second can cost more money than most people make in years. Coin number 3 is not loud. It does not shine. It does not beg for attention. And that is exactly why people are accidentally losing it. I'm talking about the 1,910 wheat penny with no mint mark, fine condition, original, untouched. Do not spend this coin. I mean that with absolute seriousness. This is hidden treasure in its purest form. 1,910 was a different America. Before world wars shattered economies. Before modern machines took over. This was a nation still building itself, still experimenting, still finding its footing. Money moved by hand. Coins circulated hard. Every penny mattered. The US Mint was not thinking about collectors, not thinking about preservation. Coins were tools. And that mindset created something rare today. Almost nothing survived the right way. This penny came from Philadelphia, and the missing mint mark is not an accident. It's a signature. It tells you this coin was struck at the heart of American coin production under heavy demand, with massive output pressure. These pennies were handled immediately, stacked, dumped into bags, shipped, spent, and respent. Nobody saved them. Nobody protected them. And that's why a 1,910 wheat penny surviving today in fine condition is a shock to the system for serious collectors. At first glance, people think it's just old, brown, dull, boring. That's the trap. This coin doesn't look rich. It feels historic. It feels heavy with time. When you hold it, there's a presence to it that modern coins don't have. The copper feels alive, solid, honest. The thickness, the weight, the balance in your fingers tells you this came from an era where money meant something physical. This coin doesn't flex. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels important. The design is deceptively simple. Lincoln's portrait is calm but commanding, struck in a time when his image was still new on American coinage. This was not yet a nostalgic design. It was a statement. On the reverse, the wheat ears stand tall, symbolizing growth, strength, and national identity. This design would later vanish forever, and once it did, collectors never stopped chasing it. Every surviving example became a piece of locked history. Here's the painful truth. Most 1,910 wheat pennies were destroyed without mercy. They were cleaned by well-meaning hands, polished to death, scrubbed until the original surface was gone forever. Others were bent, damaged, corroded, lost, or melted. Cleaning is a killer. The moment someone tries to make this coin shiny, its value collapses. Collectors don't want bright. They want original. They want untouched. They want time preserved, not erased. That's why fine condition matters. Not perfect. Not uncirculated. Honest wear. Natural aging. Strong details still visible. Original surfaces intact. That balance is rare. That balance is where the money hides. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this coin. The sharpness of the date. The strength of Lincoln's jawline. The clarity of the wheat lines. The texture of the surface. The absence of cleaning scratches. These microscopic details separate junk from jackpot. This coin is rare, not because it's flashy, but because it survived correctly for more than a century. Think about that. Over 100 years of circulation, storage, handling, accidents, and human mistakes. And it still made it here. That's why collectors want it. That's why they fight over it quietly. Not in public, not on social media, in private sales, in hushed auction rooms, phones pressed to ears, bids climbing without emotion. This is where serious money moves. Collectors who get one of these don't rush to sell. They hold. They lock it away. They understand supply is shrinking every year. Coins get lost. Coins get damaged. Coins get cleaned by accident. Demand keeps rising, especially for early wheat pennies with no mint mark and original surfaces. That imbalance is why prices explode. This exact type of 1,910 wheat penny, no mint mark, fine condition, original and untouched, has reached a market value of around $278. 500th, let that sink in. Nearly $300,000 hiding in a coin most people wouldn't pick up off the ground. That's not just money. That's quiet wealth. That's a life-changing opportunity disguised as something ordinary. And here's the part that should scare you. People are still spending these. They show up in old collections, inherited jars, forgotten boxes. Someone sees an old penny and thinks nothing of it. Drop it in a register. Toss it in a drawer. That mistake can erase a fortune in seconds. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Original toning matters more than shine. Professional grading is not optional. It's protection. It's confirmation. It's the difference between a story and a verified treasure. If you ever come across one, slow down. Respect it. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study the surface. Feel the weight. The biggest mistakes come from impatience and ignorance. The smartest collectors wait. They preserve. They let time and scarcity do the work. Stay right here, because this is not the end. What comes next is even older, even rarer, and even more dangerous to ignore. If this 1910 wheat penny shook you, the next coin will change the way you see every piece of change forever. Do not blink. The next hidden treasure is waiting. Coin number 4. Don't relax. Don't scroll. Don't assume you've already seen the big one, because coin number 4 is where people make the most expensive mistake of all. They underestimate it. This coin looks calm, ordinary, almost forgettable. And that's exactly why people are accidentally losing a silent fortune. I'm warning you right now, do not spend this coin. Coin number 4 is the 1920 wheat penny with no mint mark, fine condition, original and untouched. And this is one of the most dangerous coins to ignore hiding in plain sight. 1920 was not a soft year in American history. The country was coming out of chaos. World War I had ended, but the damage was still fresh. Inflation was real. Jobs were unstable. The economy was shifting fast, and pressure was everywhere. The U.S. Mint was under stress, striking coins for an economy trying to find balance again. Speed mattered more than perfection. Coins were produced to be used, not admired, and that decision is exactly why survivors today are so rare. This wheat penny came from Philadelphia, and that missing mint mark is the quiet detail that changes everything. No mint mark means it was struck at the busiest mint in the nation, where volume ruled and coins were handled aggressively from the moment they were born. These pennies went straight into circulation. They were stacked, dumped, shipped, spent, and respent without mercy. Nobody saved them. Nobody protected them. And that's why finding a 1920 wheat penny today in fine condition is a shock to serious collectors. At first glance, most people see nothing special. Brown copper, old date, no shine. Some even think it looks dirty. That's the trap. That natural aged surface, that slightly darkened look, that soft antique presence is exactly what collectors are hunting for. That is originality. That is proof this coin was never cleaned, never polished, never stripped of its history. The moment someone tries to improve this coin, the fortune vanishes. Cleaning is not a fix. Cleaning is destruction. When you hold this coin, it feels solid, in a way modern coins never do. There's weight to it. Not just physical weight, but historical weight. The copper feels dense and warm, like it belongs in your hand. The thickness, the diameter, the balance all remind you this came from an era when money was meant to last. It doesn't feel disposable. It feels important, even if you can't explain why. Lincoln's portrait on the front is steady and composed, struck during a time when the nation desperately needed stability. On the reverse, the wheat ears stand tall, symbols of growth, recovery, and endurance. This design wasn't chosen by accident. It spoke to the American spirit of rebuilding. And when this design was eventually retired, it locked these coins into history forever. No reissues, no second chances. Here's what makes this coin truly rare. Millions were minted, yes, but almost none survived correctly. Over the last century, these coins were cleaned by curious hands, polished by well-meaning owners, scratched, bent, corroded, lost, or melted. Every one of those actions removed another example from the collector pool. Survival is the rarity. Originality is the prize. A 1920 wheat penny with no mint mark, fine condition, original surfaces is a survivor against impossible odds. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this coin. The sharpness of the date, the clarity of Lincoln's features, the strength of the wheat lines, the natural flow of the surface, the absence of harsh scratches or cleaning lines. These are not small things in the collector world. These details are everything. This is how collectors separate a common penny from a hidden big treasure. In quiet auction rooms and private sales, coins like this don't get hyped. They don't need to. Serious collectors recognize them instantly. Bidding starts calm, almost respectful, then it tightens. Phones come out. Bids jump. Tension fills the room without a word being spoken. This is not fiction. This is how real money moves. And once a collector secures one, they don't rush to sell. They hold. They wait. They understand supply is shrinking every year while demand keeps climbing. This exact type of 1920 wheat penny, no mint mark, fine condition, original and untouched, has reached a market value of around $258. Zeroth. Let that sink in slowly. $250,000 hiding in something most people would toss aside. That's not luck. That's hidden wealth. That's quiet wealth. That's a life-changing opportunity disguised as an old penny. And here's the part that should make you uncomfortable. People are still losing these coins. Right now. They sit in jars, boxes, drawers, inherited collections. Someone finds an old penny and thinks nothing of it. Drops it in a register. Spends it on coffee. That single moment can erase a fortune forever. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Original toning matters more than shine. Professional grading is critical. That step protects the truth of the coin and unlocks its real power. If you ever come across one, slow down. Respect it. Check the date. Look for the missing mint mark. Study the surface. Feel the weight. The biggest mistakes come from impatience and ignorance. The smartest collectors wait. They preserve. They let time and scarcity do the work for them. Stay right here, because the next coin is even more shocking. If this 1920 wheat penny surprised you, the next one will feel almost unreal. Older, rarer, more dangerous to ignore. People are losing that one too, and once you see it, there's no going back.